Hey, Carrie, before we get going, I have that painting here. Do you want me to just leave it with Sarah for you to pick up for the church? You're on mute. Ah, okay. Or just put it in the chat.
Enjoying the snow. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. It is.
Yesterday, I was so tired that I only did like 5 or 6 runs, and they were superb, but I was exhausted
Yeah.
from the 4 prior days. Terrific.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
For some reason, my phone, since the Apple update, everything's been crazy. It thinks I'm
Yeah.
driving, so I'm in safe driving mode.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm gonna go to my computer. But yes, thank you. Just text me separately and I'll pick up wherever you need and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sarah said it's okay. I'll just leave it with her, and that way you can come and pick it up at her desk.
Sounds perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning. Nice mug, Robin. We Potters notice those things.
Indeed. Okay, should we call to order the February 20th meeting? Yep. Cool. Roll call. Callie McDermott,
Steve Fitzgerald.
Cynthia McCoy.
Anastasia Keitlinger.
Sarah Wick, Tana Fraser.
Kristen Hansen.
Carrie Crandall.
Stephanie Ferguson.
Lorena Stoker.
You're on mute. Do you want to make a motion to approve the agenda?
we don't need to wait for her.
I have corrections for the agenda.
Okay.
It says Wednesday the 4th, and I believe you guys held the meeting on Tuesday because I
That's the
couldn't
minutes,
come.
right?
Oh, yes, sorry. I
So-
moved to approve the agenda.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye. Now.
Okay, no meeting minutes.
I just noticed that it said Wednesday, and I think you guys held it Tuesday, and then it says that I approved the agenda and that I seconded something else, and I was not there.
The minutes from,
The 4th.
okay, I'll look at them. They're not attached to, they're not on this, there was nothing on consent
Okay.
in here, but I'll look at the other ones.
And that meeting we had right before,
That was that one, the
the-
special.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a special, so we're not even required, I don't think, to.
Like, I think I did move and second something in the meeting prior on
Yeah.
that Thursday.
It got pasted over.
Okay. I could see what had happened, but just.
I'll change it.
All right, why don't we hold that then until the next meeting? Approve them.
To approve the minutes? Okay. Cool. Well, we just have a couple things on the agenda. But we can start with Fire and Ice wrap up.
Yeah, do we want to get the whiteboard out and do good things, bad things, and look at the survey and that kind of thing?
I like that idea.
How do I share my screen? Oh wait, found it. Okay.
Yeah, let's look at the survey first.
Yes. Can you guys see all that? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so we only had 18 answered surveys. I figured we would have some more, but
Where was this posted? Because I didn't even see it.
On Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram.
Okay, I didn't see it either. But I can send it to people that I talk to personally if we want that in this platform. unless it doesn't matter.
I think we'll probably shut it down after today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of the feedback was good. I don't feel like there was anything that we needed to.
Bomb fire.
Yeah, the bonfire.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
We
we might have to
might
covet
need
that.
to Just take that.
Yeah.
that showed up on here a couple of times.
Yep, that,
Great fireworks. Swag was good. I think there was lots of vendors.
Good bet.
things going right, things going wrong.
The hot air balloon was a nice addition. The fact that somebody could bring their dog.
And cat.
Yeah,
There were a
positive
couple
comments
cats.
about the
Yeah.
food carts too.
Yes, bonfire again on there. And then dislike about the venue wasn't lit up enough, which, maybe we could do a little more lighting next year.
I didn't think it was that bad.
And-
didn't,
The
Cause we remember
sconces were
the year
cute.
before we had the big lights for the sculptures and we had them on and I don't know, it kind of distracts and the generators are loud.
That's exactly my point of view. It's a
Yeah.
nighttime event, it's fireworks.
yeah,
I think, yeah, more.
maybe
like-
some more of those like colored lights. We did, I mean, it was
Like
definitely
just-
dark next to the coffee truck
Yes.
because they were a little farther out, but maybe just a few more. I mean, those ones are really cool.
I
Those
like
little,
the lights that we like lined pathways with, and I didn't think that took away.
Yeah.
So just like more of those could be cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. More like, what should I say, like solar lighting?
This one said needed more food trucks and possibly drinks. I don't know how we could have added more. Again, lack of food trucks. I feel like we had a good amount. They definitely had a busy line, but
I think we had the most we've had so far.
definitely.
And it is a tricky thing for the food trucks in that they get about 3 hours of
Yeah.
really busy.
Mhm.
Then it's not, it's kind of mellow. So they got to be willing to.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that all of them, I talked to all of them and they were happy with their sales. So I think if we had another one, it might be too much.
It'd be nice to get feedback so that we can share a quote or so, like how much was sales for them
To
in
be
that
expected.
to show other possible vendors in future years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like it's only going to get bigger. So
Yeah, I think like one more food truck wouldn't have hurt it, but
Yeah.
more than one, definitely.
yeah.
And
Said it was this one said hard to get to the food trucks and vendors with the crowds. There's definitely nothing we can do about that. This one said lack of snow sculptures and ice sculptures. Sarah and I kind of touched on that. Maybe doing a couple smaller ones or something instead of one large one. But obviously we can address that next
Yeah,
year.
TBD.
Yeah. Music needed to be louder. I do think that we probably could have had another one of those PA systems. But,
Yep. More
um,
speakers.
Yeah, and KFFR shut down like right at 7
They
o'clock.
did.
They were done at 7.
I
So
was surprised.
yeah, I mean he had a long day and
Yeah,
like
He
before.
probably had enough. by
Um,
then.
gonna do that, then we can maybe get like a playlist going or something.
Yeah, something or
Or
still be
even
able
just
to
their broadcast.
play the radio.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, if they want to leave, we can just.
Switch it over to the live broadcast, and
Mhm.
person in studio can just make references to the event. And
yeah. This one says more food vendors. The line to get back to the church was long.
So
yeah, but they also were gracious in saying that,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Thought there would be more snow sculptures.
Yeah, I heard that a few times.
Didn't like the cutback on the snow sculptures. Public voting, I think that we made like $30 on that the one year that we actually did it.
No, I mean, we made a few hundred, but it was such
Really?
a pain because of the snow and
Yeah, it was cold.
and finding them
Yeah,
and it's just if we can figure out a way to do that through social media and stuff, I'd be open to it, but I don't see that as a viable fundraiser.
well, unless it's only the QR code voting.
Yep.
But if we don't do the snow sculpture championships, and there's nothing to vote on.
but
Exactly.
if we did the Uller effigies, we could do public voting on that, and that could be two things.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Potentially.
Yeah, there was,
Get people to businesses, get voting involved, and burn some shit.
yeah, I like that.
This comment right there that you just highlighted, I
Mhm.
think is a really good idea. The idea for those who might not be able to see it, a huge snow pile for the kids to play on and slide down. I don't even think it has to be all that sculpted.
No. No.
Well, on that Friday before, there were a bunch of kids out here literally playing on a dirty pile of snow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't care.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They just want to play.
Yeah.
That you had parked. They're like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were like makeshifting that. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, and that's the comment here is they were sliding into the access road. So I think if we just plan for a big pile of snow and maybe ask the SNICE or whoever does it next year to just do a ramp,
Mhm.
that's about all you need.
Yeah.
Maybe some
Yeah.
stairs for them to
Yep.
walk up or something.
Yeah.
Or we buy some shovels and put them out there and kids can sculpt themselves.
Use them as weapons.
Yeah, they would do that too.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely something a little more interactive for the kids.
Yeah, I love that.
Todd Hallsworth just joined us too. Hi, Todd. You're muted as
Should we show Todd the comment from up above?
About the bonfire.
The bomb fire. It was a hit.
Good morning.
morning.
Good
Hey,
morning.
We're just going through the survey that we had online and talking about things gone right and gone wrong during Fire and Ice.
Okay.
Yeah, this one says fireworks too early. There was a couple people that showed up at like 7:30 and wanted fireworks, but I thought,
They said that it was online and we were like, no,
No,
it
it
definitely
definitely
said.
said.
Was not.
6:30.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
I thought the timeline was great. I feel like everyone almost completely cleared out at 9 o'clock. So,
Yep.
that was cool. Missed the interactive snow display. This one is also in another bit of the feedback. Drop off was smooth. Maybe having a location with parking or utilize the lift to carry more people. We could definitely encourage people to use the bus system as well. This one says something about an ice festival in Japan.
Yep.
I think that this kind of goes with the effigy stuff that we had been talking about. Even where you like get a piece of paper and burn.
Well, this was one of the original things we talked about, going back to the burn frosty thing in Tabernash years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really like that idea and we could definitely build something on that. I don't know if we need to sell a piece of paper, but yeah, I really like that too.
Since Chief is on, do we want to ask him if he has any?
Well, we will, won't we,
Yeah.
get through
let him
seeing
know?
the feedback first.
Yeah, this one said shuttle didn't work well. They got in line and got there late. I don't know how to remedy that. We started the shuttles at 4. I mean, we could do more shuttles if,
Well, that's,
I mean, eventually we'll have to because
Yeah.
we'll be growing so much. So
Yeah.
maybe we're.
yeah, but that is interesting to know that somebody waited 40 minutes for a shuttle.
does it feel like the line was that big, Carrie, at the church?
So at one point it was, but they had hot chocolate and drinks and stuff that were being served in a tent. I wouldn't say 40 minutes at the church, but it could have been. I mean, I left right as the swag was done. And I want to say that was like close to 5:40, 5:45.
Okay.
So I do know going home, I heard people mentioning that
Yeah.
to the church it was long, but and you could walk. It was like a 9-minute walk too.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
there's
was
that.
very close.
Right. Good point.
Why are you waiting 40 minutes when you could walk there? in 9 minutes,
Yeah.
hon?
Yeah, I brought it up. I said it's a 9-minute walk, but whatever.
This one also says have some sort of announcements. I feel like we did the announcements for all of that stuff. So
Yeah, but that could be to the point of somebody said the music
it
wasn't
wasn't loud enough, so they didn't hear it. Yeah.
Check your hearing aids.
Separate lines. I don't feel like we talked about separate lines for the shuttles getting back, but we didn't do that. So
They had magnets
thought
on,
that would
like,
be good
on
enough.
the vans to the location they were going to, so. Yeah, maybe we split them up. I don't know.
and then one comment about the content of the music, but
What was the comment?
that there was a rap song about sex positions.
I actually do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there in the thing and I was like, whoa, this is an interesting selection of music. And they're like, we're trying to change it. We're trying to change it.
So accidental.
And by the way, look in the chat there. One of the shuttles got in an accident. That might have been.
Oh yeah, so we were down to one home game shuttle at the
Yep.
end. Yeah.
Brian said that they got another one running pretty quickly. But yeah, that it did.
Okay.
He did get hit.
Well, and maybe, I mean, if we utilize them for a certain location and see about doing the buses,
Yep.
I mean, that's definitely something we can talk
Yeah,
about.
I mean, a bus would carry a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I think
Yeah.
that
always a
would-
positive.
And they wouldn't even have to pull in to where they drop off. They could just, if it was a lift bus, they could just drop them off at the lift stop
Mhm.
by Safeway.
Yep.
Yeah.
And maybe just for night pickup, not take there.
Yeah.
'cause people are trying to leave.
Yeah. Maybe on the way out.
That's
That's
a
Have
good
them
call.
do an
That's a
extra
must.
stop.
Next
Okay.
year is the lift.
Yeah.
What like that. Well, nobody thought we were unorganized, so that's nice.
Woohoo! That's a first.
Because there was no snowmaking, Steve, I felt like it was the most organized.
We did too.
event that we've had.
Yeah.
It's been smooth.
I thought everything was smooth. I don't feel like there was any hiccups. Couple of the other responses were more details on parking. We could have communicated that there was less snow sculptures, but I feel like
I mean,
like
it
we
kind
did
of
that.
was communicated because it was literally covered in Sky High News that our funding was taken away.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and we never advertised that we were doing the sculpture
Right.
championships either.
yeah.
So
so like,
Yeah, one of the challenges we're always going to have, whether it's things like this, I saw some stuff in Instagram about somebody saying they didn't promote it at all, and it was like literally somebody else who had favorited one of our posts. You know, back in my days in corporate life, we would communicate things 1,000 times. And when the day would come, we'd get criticism that we hadn't communicated well. It's just part of the deal.
Yeah.
We hit all the various, media that we can, and we just live with some of this. And as each event goes by, more people follow us, and the more the word will get out.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
really think there's much you can do about some outliers, not having Facebook, not having Instagram, not being Sky High News readers, not listening to KFFR.
or yeah, not investigating. If you were coming from Denver, you could have found out that we weren't doing that.
Yep.
So
Yep. So that's just part of the deal.
Yep. Didn't expect everything to be so early. Better parking, more bus promotion.
Yeah.
I feel like we did a lot of that too. Shuttle from the church was a small van, but I think that was, I mean,
Well, and look
great
at
that they
this,
did that.
the majority, well, I mean, it's only 18 people, but the
Yeah.
majority either found out about it on social media or attended the previous year.
Yep.
So
Mhm. Yeah, and I feel like there was,
Hey, it just occurred to me, did we have any posting to next door?
next door.
It's an app for neighborhoods.
Are there next door up here? Is there?
You can.
There are. The thing is, I was in a different board meeting and someone made the comment about while next door is not very common up here, that's what a lot of people in the Front Range use for their neighborhoods. So if we did some postings to next door up here, they would receive them.
another area that we can.
So I'm thinking we just add that to the list for next time or for any other events.
Do we know about how many people showed up?
that's a great question. I have no idea.
Because
how to
it was
count.
around like 3,000 last year. or-
I thought that's what we threw out,
No.
but yeah, I don't know if
Maybe
there's
it's
any
not.
way to
We're
count.
Not getting the word out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Lots.
I mean, I thought it was busy, so.
It was full. The park was full.
Yeah, very full.
It was jamming.
Somebody said we should skip the festival and invest in County Road or the Highway 40
Fair.
to fix that. Okay. Not our area. More booths. A lot of people said it was super fun. Don't advertise. We don't want everyone else showing up from other places. So
Little Texas hatred there. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
There we
don't want
go.
everyone from Texas to show up.
Oh,
Um,
We like Texans.
yeah.
I saw some people in some great day glow that I was like, clearly don't live in our community, but I was like, yes.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I want our community to show up in those outfits.
Yes. Oh, there was some great outfits.
The-
Yes,
Yeah.
The luminaria idea there at the bottom along the walking path is a clever one, and that might be a way to engage the elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
We did that last year.
But we
Oh, that's right.
They had the like the back.
That's right.
The
Yeah.
sconces work nice,
forgot
it's
about
just the
that.
bottom
Yeah.
spike wouldn't pull out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna have
maybe
to look
tape
for a few of
'em
those.
next
I
year,
just
that
love the idea
last
based on
piece.
what Steve just said. My parents used to, it was super easy for them make ice, like luminaries that
Colored
they
ice
would
ones?
put, yeah, that they would
Candles?
put like candles in. That could be a great way to do extra things and make it more fire and ice. And it could be like like some of us volunteers could go to the school with a bunch of those and like help the little kids fill them up with, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
like have them, just
Yeah.
an idea.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that under ideas.
Yeah, I would love to figure out how to get the kids to do a few more things.
I did reach out to the elementary school this year and I didn't hear anything back, but maybe I reached out a little too late. So,
They had their.
Oh, we were talking with Shelley, the art teacher there the whole time.
Yeah, she gets a little sporadic with
Yep.
responses. So,
Yep.
all right.
but yeah, if we have some ideas for like things we want her to do, I think that'd be a great idea.
Mhm.
She did get a bunch of kids to dress up, which I thought was
Yep.
fun. This one says need something for people to do besides the balloon and bonfire to stay longer. I mean, the photo booth was awesome. I did hear that Birdie Lounge would be interested in setting up some glow in the dark like putt stuff, which could be
Oh,
really fun
fun.
for next
Yeah.
year.
Cool.
So definitely want to put that on there so we make sure to contact them.
Well, and maybe what we do is this fall, we send a invitation to local businesses that if you want to participate in Fire Ice with something that is fitting with the theme, the invitation is there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this notion that's popped up a few times about getting people to stay longer,
Mhm.
I'm not so sure I subscribe to that.
I don't either.
I think this is one of the charms of this event. It's February in Fraser, for God's sakes, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it was dumping. And getting people to stay for 4 hours just strikes me as an unrealistic goal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't necessarily think that we need to focus on
No.
people staying the entire time, but I think having another activity is fun. I feel
Yeah.
like
More
Skinner
to do
was,
when they're there
I
is
think
fine,
with
but-
less sculptures, like a beanbag thing for people to just like, okay, I saw the balloon,
yeah,
saw the one sculpture, waiting for
Yeah.
the fire to build up.
Well, and I think that's why we kind of timed it the way we did, because it was just like one thing to the next,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then you're done.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
yeah,
we're like, get in,
It's-
get out.
yep,
And because of the bonfire, we went up so fast this year. By the time the fireworks started, it was already down, not quite to embers, but
Yeah,
it
close.
was, yeah.
yeah, definitely. The fire dancers were pretty cool. I feel like maybe we could rope that into maybe more of like a parade that they do, since it'll be our 5th year of some kind. I think this builds back on
Yep.
the other comment from above about a few more things, an ice bar, an effigy with the Christmas trees.
No, and this fella volunteered to help
Yeah. Yeah, so we can definitely
take
write
him
these
up
in
on
for
that.
Yeah. So overall, I think all of it was good. Doesn't seem like there was any extremely negative feedback. So good job, guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Should we, to Cindy's point, ask Todd for his thoughts and comments? Well, so we don't occupy tons of his time.
I thought everything went okay. We didn't have any slow start for the fire, at least this year.
Yeah.
That's for
not at
sure.
all.
And honestly, Todd, that was a hit. I mean, everybody who saw it was remarking on it.
Yeah, we have
You know,
comments.
we
but-
probably would want to move people back a little further, but to me, that would be kind of a fun thing to sustain.
Yeah.
the bonfire.
I had somebody like just joking, like,
Bonfire.
oh, we might have to tone that down next year. And I was like, no, we need to get them more fuel. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going to tone them down. We're going to aid this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just move everybody back.
Yeah. And just get more
Mm-hmm.
stuff for them to burn.
Yeah, just we didn't have 3 feet of wet snow trying to tamper everything last year like we had. So, we'll be more careful with the Boy Scout fuel, but that's what it takes to get going quick and make sure it gets in there. No, he did a great job building the pile up and making sure there was plenty of air to it because that's what was struggling
Cool.
last year. It was all matted down and couldn't get air to it to get it going. So eventually,
Yeah, Joe put diesel on it, and you guys brought what, 40 gallons of gas?
oh, I don't think it was quite that much, but
Oh, well, maybe Jed inflated that.
we brought a little bit more. We didn't use all of it, but
Okay, cool. And of course, it was snowing, and that kept the fumes low to the ground.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, it just did what it did. But no, we weren't going to have a repeat of last year.
Well, we sure did.
That's what the intention was.
Yeah.
If we have input on the building of the pile and all, and he did a great job. Yeah, no problem there. And then we had several calls right after that, so we had to split pretty quick. But
Yeah.
it was down pretty good by then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, it's always appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
like
Hopefully.
I know how to burn things up.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to be on the other side of the equation.
Like I said, I know how to do that part. It's just try not to teach the gang how to burn things up. More. Oh.
Well, thanks for being there and lighting it.
You're welcome. Unless you need me for something else, I'm gonna keep plugging away.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks for. All right. What else? Things going wrong, things going right.
I loved the photo booth.
Yeah.
Skinner said he was maxed out and did a session and a half a minute the entire time.
Wow.
So he couldn't have gone any quicker with that.
Yeah, he was one of the last vendors there, and people were like, can I? And we were like, the lights are off.
Yeah. The power is off.
I want to add to an idea. So Lorena mentioned, like, it was a little too short notice, but she mentioned her friend after a couple meetings ago who owns what's that fire company? He owns like the boxes. Lorena,
She sent that to me too.
Like Ignite or something like that.
No, it's I'll tell you right now, it's Lava Box.
Yeah.
Well, my client is really good friends with that owner, and he was just like, I was so sad to miss it. He loves Fire and Ice, but had a bachelor party, and so he got me in contact with this guy named Jonathan, which I think she knows, and he was just saying that he is like pretty like 90% sure. I have to talk to him, but that he would just let us, like, he would come and set them up and just let us use them for free.
Oh, that would be great.
Which would be great because we wouldn't have to store them. And there's a bunch of different configurations that we can like make sure it's safe for the public apparently. But then we were like, cause he's like a owner of a business and just really a great guy to brainstorm with. But he was like, I was thinking, we were going off each other, that it could be cool for him to have a tent set up. Like, even if it's just like, he has those around his tent, and he's manning them or whatever. So I was thinking like, oh, like a vendor tent, like he could probably really benefit, we could benefit, he could benefit, it is fire. And then that led me to think of like, are there any other things that align with our festivals? Like, yes, we have, like, that could also fall in things to do. Yes, we have, like food vendors, but like, what if we had some other vendors that people could quote unquote go see or like do stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anybody who sells ice sculptures, but like, like, does that make sense? Like, I just wanted to bring that up, just like maybe
Well,
a couple
also,
vendors that
my thought is
Yeah, I
if
like
we
that.
do decide we like these, ask him if he gives us a discount, and then he becomes a sponsor to the event.
Oh yeah.
Which totally makes sense.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
I agree.
Like Fire and Ice sponsored by Lava Box. I mean,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And here's like,
And he's like super active in the NSCD, super active in the community. Like, he's like he lives in Denver, but he's up here every weekend kind of thing. So he's like
Cool.
hugely supportive of Fraser. I haven't had an opportunity to chat with him because I wanted to give Lorena that option, since she was like the one that thought of it.
Yeah.
But Jonathan did give me his number and gave me an introduction and all that, so I'd be happy to work with
Well,
him.
I'm like, look at these.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
That has kind of like a campfire thing going on.
Is there a way to show it on the screen instead of the feedback form?
Oh,
Who's controlling that? Please.
yeah, I can do that. Lava box.
So is Lorena still here? Oh no, she's gone. What are they called? Fire pits? Yeah, lava box, fire pits, yeah. So
Serena's
yeah,
still on, but I'm guessing she can't get it off mute because she's just doing chat.
sure.
I had the issue
Yeah,
with
she
that
said
too.
she's got a loud meeting next door to her, so of course my internet's gonna be a
Yeah,
little slow right now.
Cool. Well, I can text her separately and then we can kind of
Yeah, that's what they look like.
decide who wants to reach out to him. I mean, it's a year from now, but I just thought like, oh, like, you know, we were going back and forth. He's like, then you could do this and then you could do that. And I was like, I love all of these ideas.
And Lorraine, like, you know him and Lorena know.
Lorena
Yeah.
knows him personally, and she suggested it like 2 meetings ago, but we just didn't know that it would be like we'd be able to make it happen. And then my client like sent me his number and made an introduction and stuff. So that's why I was just like, I don't want to take it away from her. I have all the info. His name is Josh. Yeah. So
They're pretty cool. They
Yeah.
seem nice and compact
So
too,
be-
so
it could be cool to you know, see if he'd wanna be a sponsor.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd be willing to buy a bunch if we get like a discount and offer them sponsorship. I think
Yeah,
that'd be
yeah.
Good.
I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be
Any
cool.
other company like that that makes sense too.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, we can definitely
Let's keep,
brainstorm
yeah, so
for-
that's all I was just thinking, like non-food vendors could be cool, like
Mhm.
that fit with the theme.
Yep,
So
cool.
Yeah. That's it.
I have some feedback to play on that while we're on this topic. At the Super Bowl party, there was like 18 people, and I asked everyone who was there what they loved. So I took copious notes. They had some really great ideas. One thing they said, could we build a fire pit community area with an ice lounge or an ice bar? And that sounds like this would kind of fit, where if we had somebody in a controlled environment having a bunch of fire pits, and then maybe we do create a nice sculpture where it's like an ice bar, ice luge, ice lounge, whatever they were talking about. That would be
And
a
that could be a fundraiser too.
yeah.
Oh, that admission to the ice bar is a $5 donation or something.
Yeah.
Totally.
That could be cool.
So that was in that one. I have like a whole list if you want me to go through any of these, or I can just input as we go through relevant items.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, we should check and see if the fire department, because you just said fundraiser, that could be like a good tent, like maybe they want to make it into a little bit of a fundraiser for them. I know they sometimes do the booth thing, like they can have some of their people walk around with the booth to,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was thinking either for the event or for Fraser Valley Arts for the center.
Yes,
Right.
love that for the fire pit.
Yep.
Community, yeah.
Yep. Harry, I just
Yeah.
fire off your ideas.
Okay, so they said fire pit community area, an ice lounge, ice luge. They really love the idea, and I talked to some people from grandkids setting up what's called a play zone. I guess they did crafting there. Wasn't part of that, but they did crafting that they had a great feedback from. A snow pile to play in, which is what we've already talked about. And then someone had brought up, how cool would it be to have team fire and team ice? And whether it's like a little race or a snowball fight or something like that, to encourage people like, okay, this side's team fire, this side's team ice, and then have some sort of interactive thing. And then they said if you just give grandkids the area and the ideas, they could run with it. So that could be a good idea. They loved that Lorraine and I were dressed up as fire and ice. They said that we were like mascots. I do remember one we're all just taking our own pictures, laughing, and then I turn around and there's like 10 kids lined up thinking we're like the mascots to get group pictures. It was so cute. They just wanted to touch the light up cape. But it might be cool to have like a photo, like in addition to the photo booth, but like have an area that says Fraser Fire and Ice, and maybe whether it's us or whoever just signs up as a mascot to volunteer. And then they go around and snap pictures. I think that would be really cool. I know we've had nothing but positive feedback on that. Photo booth, we already talked about. People really liked the fire dancers, but they didn't know that they were happening. So I don't know if whatever feedback we want there. I did see the fire dancers and I thought they were great. I saw personally about half a dozen people slip and fall. I know that's just going to be a hazard of it, but in certain areas where there was a like undulation or a little bit of a downhill, maybe we just have a couple mats or more hay just to put that down.
Definitely.
I picked up probably a late 60s, early 70s woman that slipped and fell, and then it was just people were just in that one spot where it went downhill. These are the quotes I took. This is hands down the most amazing fire show I've ever seen in my entire life. Another quote I captured are these meat pies just changed my life. So kudos on that one.
Yeah.
Life-changing meat pies.
Yeah, they
I feel
loved
like I
it.
missed something.
Yeah, well, and I was just like capturing some things that I heard in there. The kids are having such a fun time. I wish they had more kids zone for play. And then another person said mats to reduce slipping. So that's what I captured on there. For me personally, I thought it was excellent. I thought it was a great crowd. I did ask everyone how many people they thought. It ranged from 1,000 people to 3,000 people is what the consensus said that I asked. So maybe next year, if we get a drone footage, I'm sure AI could tell us, or if maybe we have that aerial footage, we could probably snapshot and say, hey, AI, chat GPT,
How many
tell
heads
us.
are here?
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
Connor has footage of the whole event. Maybe we can look at that and see what we.
Yeah, because I
I
mean,
think it would
it's
be
got the
pretty,
computational ability to just literally count the heads.
Yeah.
yeah, in like 10 seconds.
Right.
So that would be my suggestion. The other thing, I loved the fireworks and the fire bombs and everything, but the smell of gasoline or whatever it was like burning my eyes. I was like literally crying with gas fumes. So I just walked away. That's my own thing. But man, that was crazy and good.
They definitely went a little overboard on that. Thinking that
Okay.
it
Did
was
anybody else
fun.
experience that? Because I had front row. So
No,
I think that was more the fire than it was the fireworks.
no, yeah.
definitely the
Thank
gas
you.
bombs when the fireworks were going off. And
Oh.
all of a sudden it like hit and I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. And then it started crying and whatever, but it's all
Yeah.
good. You know, it's part of
Yeah.
the
They
answer.
had 12 total and there was a 7 stack at the finale.
Okay.
So 7 in a row in the finale,
Yeah.
but 12 total.
It was awesome. Every
Yeah.
year it's awesome. And
So
who
cool.
knows with the wind? You can't really plan on that.
No.
If
Yeah.
it's slow and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
that was
Well,
one thing.
and with it snowing, it was pushing all the fumes down to the ground.
Yeah. And I think that is it. I think we nailed it. I think it was great.
So I just add to Carrie's list. Next year's our 5th year. And, you know, we're all so close to this, but I was standing there enjoying every minute of it and thinking, okay, we need to do something more. There's got to be like an extra. And so I was gonna suggest, and I love these comments about really expanding the interactivity for kids. I think that would be one that would really strike a lot of folks positively. But some of the things I've been thinking about, maybe we do something with music, whether it's actually live music or just really big speakers. Maybe we do a drone show in addition to the fireworks or before or after, something like that. And, you know, we saw a number of people make a suggestion about some sort of burning something in effigy, which is a page we were on in the very beginning. Would have to think through the logistics of that. But I do think more than anything, we need to keep it fresh. And I don't necessarily think we have to do something new every year, but at least every couple, 3 years, starting with next year, we should add a twist.
I always like the king and queen idea too, and having ice thrones.
Yeah.
And then like what I'm envisioning is like, you know, our first thought about this was we talked about Burning Man and stuff like that. And like, you know, we've mentioned the Kill Frosty Festival. Like what I'm seeing, and we had that parade that first year. What I'm seeing is like, it's almost like a funeral procession and people are dressed in fire and ice and they have something in a casket or whatever.
Yeah.
And before they march it out and they put it on top of the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
And then we light it up.
Yep.
You know, it's like a I love that. Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know if it's Kill Frosty or something.
Well, and it's February, so the idea of trying to encourage winter to end in a community that loves
Right,
winter,
it would be weird.
it would be weird,
So it's gotta
but
be
we
something
could do like an Uller thing
Yeah.
and, or give it a new name, and it's like to a great snowy, end to winter and that sort of thing,
It's a sacrifice to
to the
something.
snow gods.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was
I don't know what
some
it
of that
is.
stuff. And I mean that could be more of the business engagement too, is
Yep.
each business could make one. I mean, we'd probably have to put a restriction on how big it should be.
Or
Oh.
we could ask,
Or minimum.
we could ask the
Minimum.
business community to volunteer and pick one per year.
Yeah.
And this year
Yeah.
it's Fraser, it's Camber Brewing, and Camber gets to design it, and we collaborate with them,
Yeah.
but then they get some PR out of it,
Mm-hmm.
which I like, because then we don't have to do it,
Yeah,
because organizing these things is enough.
yeah.
But anyhow, the major theme there, and I think you're on the same page,
Yeah.
is I think next year deserves a twist.
Mhm.
And then every 2-3 years, we should just give a new thing and then pull back. So
Mhm.
nobody ever really knows when they show up if it's going to be one of those years.
Like it.
The other idea I put on without saying it was, I think that we could really benefit specifically for social media and just for ourselves in setting a time, and if you can make it at a specific time at 7 or at whatever, we get together and we do a pack photo.
Yeah.
That we're really
Oh,
missing that,
sure.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, like,
There
we
was
gotta
one
have a little
last
bit of
year, but
unity
yeah.
within each other too, so like, so, or like pre-event, or I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like that too. Cool. So we'll definitely throw out some more of the effigy ideas.
And we should probably do a planning session at a PAC meeting in early fall, don't you think? Maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, yeah, and yeah.
And we can revisit this, take the photo and that sort of thing. But that way we can get in front of some of these questions that require some planning, like reaching
Mhm.
out to the business community and
Yep.
schools and stuff. I love the idea of really expanding the kids' interactivity. I think that will be a huge hit. And of all the people who come to this event who seem to like it the most, it's the kids,
Yeah.
which is super
Definitely.
cool.
Yeah, I think that's what keeps the parents around, and obviously booze.
Yeah.
So.
Although, I mean, my 32-year-old son just thinks it's one of the coolest things that
yeah.
happens up here.
Mhm. Yeah.
Did you ever get feedback from SNICE? Did they enjoy it? They had a good time? Was
Oh, they
it?
had a blast.
Yeah.
I think Keith.
They were
Yeah.
helping out a ton with the hot air balloon, and they were fired up. Like
Yeah.
literally, they were having such a good time. It was crazy. I brought them under the balloon, in the balloon. They were holding the throat. They came back and helped take it down. Like they were
Nice.
so stoked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Perfect.
we're legitimately fired up. They're like, no, come see our fire. And we're like, okay, let's try to make it. So
Yeah.
No, yeah, just like publicly a big shout out to his team. I mean, they were working in some pretty challenging conditions.
Definitely.
And like, I'm surprised they were honestly able to build anything in that weather.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
kudos to them, and like, I would definitely love to have him back.
Yeah.
next year.
I
think
mean,
whatever we decide to do.
Keith was, very positive the whole time.
Does it make sense for us to do a little PR on this event with our town board? So we lay the groundwork for next year?
Definitely. I'm doing like a marketing update on the 5th, or wait. Is it the next whatever the next board meeting is? And I'll cover fire and ice too.
Do you have a way in that timing to be able to look at the sales tax increase for that
Prob-
weekend?
Probably can. I don't, sometimes the numbers take
Yeah.
a while to get through. If not, I'll do another follow-up with them just to get their feedback and see like what they're thinking as far as budget and stuff like that.
Well, no, I can email businesses in town too and ask,
yeah.
how they feel they did. I feel like there was positive feedback from all of them.
Yeah, there always
But-
is. I mean,
yeah.
it's one of their busiest nights of the year, but I also would like to be able to put actual sales tax data and say, on the Saturday of Fire and Ice or the Saturday of Mural Festival, here's the revenue, and that is 350% of what was the preceding Saturday.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that should matter to the town board.
Well, and I keep thinking that we want to try and get something out there before, like we were going to initially this year?
Something out there.
Like a snow sculpture like in December? Remember that's
I thought that was a great idea.
in a perfect world,
Yeah.
that's what happens, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then they come back and build like the ice sculpture things.
Yep.
That we light on fire.
And between Copper and Keystone, they're up here all winter. And those things are multi-month events, and they're super cool.
Yep.
And it gives the town something to promote for 6-7 weeks,
Mhm.
which again drives tourism, drives sales tax revenue, et cetera.
Well, that was the consensus, is that they didn't know how much tourism was actually being gained by having that
The
out
ROI
there,
on
since
it.
it was,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, which is why we want to show them data.
And I think if it's possible, like, yes, and if we can present to them ideas of how we would engage the businesses more next year and,
Mhm.
you know, whatever else would help prove our point, I think like they would be interested in knowing
Yeah.
that, just like the equity thing, you know, just like, I think
Yeah.
that makes a big difference, so.
Mhm.
Which of course goes without saying, but.
Cool.
So I said it.
Yeah. Any other comments on fire and ice then? Was that?
Kristen, did you have some?
Yeah, I did. I just didn't want to interrupt anybody. I also love the Burning Man idea. I know there's some subgroups of artists in Colorado, inviting them to make or bring sculptures that could be burned. Another thing was my improv group that I've been working with Sunday nights is getting a lot stronger. So that might be something we could bring to one of these. Whether it's playing games with kids and families or just playing games for people's entertainment. And then the final comment was, some kind of costume contest, like winning local restaurant certificates or something, with categories for kids and categories for adults.
Cool. And keep working with that improv group. When we get to center, that's exactly the type of groups I want to see enabled.
I would love that.
Yep, 100%. It's absolutely part of the plan.
I know there was a reach out to try to get people to not touch the ice sculptures. And I thought maybe we could just get a cones around there. I went over there and there was a kid with his tongue on one of
They
them.
literally told me to touch it.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like standing with the nice guys and they're like, touch it if you
The
want.
ice one or the snow one?
We just need
The
to
ice
rope
one.
it off
Oh,
or
the
cone
ice
it
one,
off
yeah.
or
The ice one, not
Yeah.
the snow.
Yeah.
The ice.
rather than using a volunteer to stand there and
I
tell
guess.
them
Yeah.
not to put their tongue on
Fundamental
it.
intelligence test.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe like more
White
stakes with a
cones.
rope light or something.
Yeah, or like steaks with.
Or
I
just a sign that explains that body warmth changes the piece of art.
Read it though.
Or
Yeah.
Also, like,
But, like,
I don't
doing,
want to
like,
put cones up around it. It just makes it like there were
No, we have
already
enough cones.
800 cones out there.
It was a pain in the butt to pick all those up.
What we could
The
do
cones
is, as
were-
part of the design, depending how big it
Yeah.
gets, is
Oh, yeah.
build a little ice wall around it.
An
Where-
aesthetically
Not wrong.
pleasing barrier
Yeah.
to stupidity.
Yes, yes, to help those people who clearly cannot think for themselves.
Also having Stacy Wright on an all hands on deck for cleanup, and I think we had pretty good setup, but maybe some more hands for some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But cleanup for sure.
My 65-year-old and 73-year-old dad were like lifting trees and like
Yeah.
doing a lot of stuff.
They
'cause
did a
we
ton of
needed
stuff.
Extra hands.
For
And
sure.
So I had my parents and
Felix did a lot of
her son and
moving trees.
my yeah. So like more just maybe like adding more spots for volunteers.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah, that's interesting because last year there was nothing to do.
Yeah.
I usually go out as soon as I wake up. I know that shift started at 10, but I went out at around 7:30.
By
And
the
last
time I
year,
got there was all cleaned up.
yeah, last year I was like, don't even bother,
Yeah.
it's basically just getting the stuff back to the town hall, but
For sure. Mostly moving the cones around and getting all the lights and
Yeah.
stakes and
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Brandon and I stayed until after 9 cleaning up garbage and
Oh,
emptying
wow.
all the garbage baskets. and
yeah,
stuff.
it was pretty clean. But
Yeah.
It was just a lot of breakdown, a lot of cones,
Yep.
sconces.
Yep.
But that's a good call then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
was a powder.
Hopefully I won't be sick next year and I can help.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
two-
hopefully
maybe
you're
two
healthy.
shifts.
Or we do the pack photo and then we are like, hey, 30 minutes, like we do it right at the end, 30 minutes and before you leave, go get a
Yeah.
garbage, whatever,
Yeah.
because like while we're all there,
Mhm.
I think we can spend 15 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll figure it
yeah,
out.
I think a
We'll figure
lot
it
just
out.
rests on Public Works shoulders, which, they didn't seem to
Yeah.
put out about it. Yeah, I think everything was organized well enough, but just to make sure we have lots of fingers doing all the stuff.
Oh, I'm doing this chair now.
Cool. If we're good on that, then we can pat yourself on the back and move on to Mural Festival.
Do we include the salaries of Sarah and Joe and Public Works in the money that we ask for? Because that is a portion of funds that the town is
Yes.
giving us. Okay.
It's included in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the budget.
It's in the budget.
Yeah. Cool. Does our budget change for next year or we have to wait to do
In
that
the
stuff?
fall.
Do you want it to?
I don't know. I don't know. I was just asking.
I know it was increased this past year, we can.
I think we should double down on the original plan around a bigger snow sculpture
too.
and or whatever we decide to do. And that's one of the reasons I was saying we should have this meeting to plan in September, October, because that's at the time we're doing the budget planning.
Yeah.
And then we should go, I think we should unrepentantly go back and say, we still believe that this is worth doing. We still believe it drives a lot of revenue and tourism for the town. And we are coming back to you to ask you to support
Here
it.
again. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lesson learned for me, for sure. I always just assume that they know stuff or can put two and two together, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't click.
And fair enough.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're elected officials for a reason and they get to exercise their point of view. That doesn't mean that we have to necessarily agree with it and be afraid to come back with that different
It's not
perspective.
personal.
That's why we exist.
Right.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely happy to work with you on some bigger presentation on that
Yep.
to,
But we'll have
Yeah.
to know what we want while the budget process is going on,
Yeah.
which is early fall.
okay.
So
Yeah, and I want to chat with Keith too and see like what's the price range? Like how much does it take to build that maze over there?
Right.
Like what are we talking here?
Maze would be super
Yeah, the maze would
cool.
be super cool.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And part of our budget was for the snowmaking equipment, right? That we helped him purchase, or he purchased it on his own.
Yeah,
He
no,
didn't
he did
make
it all
any
on
that
his
that
own
was
the previous year.
Steve
No
yeah.
means-
until he threw it off his truck on Berthoud Pass. Probably because public meeting. Mural Fest.
Mural Fest. Okay, first weekend in August, the 1st through the 3rd. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
What did you say, the first through the third?
Correct. Yep. I did want to, because I'm putting out the call for entry to be live tomorrow. We decided Wild at Heart was the theme. We didn't have like a little sentence to back that up. Does anybody?
I like how you look right in
I
my
know.
like, what's your
You.
sentence?
Yeah, just a little more
Do you need it?
describing that. I don't know. On previous ones, we have.
Yeah, I know. I just it's a great theme. And it'd be kind of fun to see what people how
Yeah.
they interpret it.
We could. I mean, yeah, we could leave it
Keep it
open ended.
simple. I thought heart, like wild at heart.
We could just like put a bunch of emojis as our sentence.
Okay.
I think I could put emojis in here.
Like
Uh,
some play on the word beat. The beat goes on, or
I just asked Chat GPT, which is like my new favorite thing ever. Wild
Just now?
wild at heart, unleash your true nature. Wild at heart, for the free spirits and fearless souls. I mean, I have a gazillion here. Wild at heart, live boldly, love fiercely, roam freely. Do you want me to just?
You can send them over, but I do.
Are you
kinda-
thinking about like just one line after it? Or are you talking
Yes,
about to
so, like,
describe the ethos?
Previous ones, I think we had also come up with the idea of life cycles, illustrating the life cycles of plants, animals, emphasizing growth, transformation, and renewal. Let me see if I can pull up my
Kind of
notes.
like just wild at heart.
Yeah, I
agree-
think
I
I
do
kind of
too.
agree with.
Yeah, I'm
But
totally.
and Carrie just underscored to me the three that she just read off from ChatGPT all had a cool resonance, but they're all very different.
Mhm.
And so I sort of like the idea of just saying wild at heart and letting people interpret it as they see fit.
Okay.
And if you want to give it to, there's this really just 2 paragraphs that it just provided for the artists, like with Wild at Heart. It says the ethos of Wild at Heart revolves around living with authenticity, passion, and a deep connection to one's truest nature. It embodies a spirit that is untamed, adventurous, and fearless in the pursuit of meaning, love, and freedom. And then it has another paragraph about call to adventure, wild at heart, reverence for the natural world, and wilderness within ourselves. So, like, if you want, it's super easy. Then we could just provide this framework for the artists, and then it gives them freedom to do what they need.
Yeah, I mean,
If you
that's vague enough to open it up to their interpretation too.
Yeah, I'll just screen capture this and I'll email it to, who do you want me to email it to?
Callie.
Me. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and I can just add that little paragraph under here. Stipend, do we want to increase that? I feel like in my notes, I have that we increased to $600 last year. Do you remember?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So, do you want to keep it at 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the stipend for?
The artist, each artist gets a stipend for their supplies.
Supplies, the fact that many of them need to get lodging.
Yeah.
It's a bit unusual for an art show, but most art shows you show up to sell your stuff. And in this case, that's a sort of an afterthought. So we've always supported the artists coming up.
And award money. Steve, you sent an email.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
One of my emails.
So we'll
Okay, this
still
one.
have the.
So I
commission.
think these were the incorrect ones. I think we did more than that.
So what happened last year is we agreed to something here and then we did something different on the day. So that was confusing.
Okay.
Our call for entries listed something that we didn't do. And I just wanted to make sure we didn't repeat that.
Well, I think that we had a national artist and a Colorado artist win in there.
Happenstance, but we
Yeah.
did a first, second, and third, and when it said in the call for entry, it was just doing
Okay.
one of each.
Well, I don't know how to. I mean, if we're doing public vote for those ones, I don't know how to section that out. Not in first, second, third.
What?
The public vote, if we're doing the same sort of thing we did last year, hand bid voting, then that just goes in the category of first, second, third. That doesn't choose a Colorado artist or a national artist.
Well, we could just take all the votes, and whoever gets the most votes, who's a Colorado artist, wins that prize, and whoever gets the most votes, who's not a Colorado artist, gets the other prize. I mean, I don't see that as logistically hard. I don't really care, but what I do care about is we shouldn't put something on the call for entry that we don't do on the day.
Yeah.
So I was just making sure
Yeah,
that we didn't repeat that.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep. Do we still want to do the same awards? Is it too many? Is it not? I mean,
Why do we need a national one and a
Well, the
state?
logic, and again, I'm not arguing, but the logic was that there is an inherent advantage for people who have a group of stakeholders, which generally are the locals, which we've somewhat mitigated by allowing online voting. But when we originally had that discussion, there was energy in this group to segregate those two awards so that we were enabling both the locals to get an award and the national artist to get an award. And so there would be some protection, if you will, for the national artist
Yeah.
because they don't have mom and dad wandering through and buying 3,000 tickets.
Like happened
Yeah.
one year.
Yeah, that did happen.
Did happen.
Um
Now, I also say that if you look back across the years, more often than not, people from outside of Colorado have won numerous awards, including the commission.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that this is a problem that needs to be solved.
Okay.
But again, I just want to make sure
Yeah.
we do what we say we're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like if there's a
that's the
top
issue, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had
Three.
to sit across from a few artists last year who are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And I hear you.
So definitely we'll do the commission, right? And then first, second, and third, and that's all people's choice.
And artists, and then the artist choice award.
And artist choice.
Do we want to add another one? It's just
That's
more
up to
chances
you
to
guys.
win prize money.
I like those.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got a first, second, and third. The artist choice, I think, is a big deal, and it should be the same
Yeah.
amount of money as first place in the
Yep.
people's choice. And then the commission's a huge deal.
Yep. So I do have on here 3,500 for the artist choice and 35 for first place.
Okay,
2,000 for second, 1,000 for third.
okay,
Does that feel fine?
yep.
Um,
It does.
okay. And then for the commission, we had on here that we were in 2024 that we were splitting it into two. We obviously didn't do that in 2024. Do we want to do that again? Do we want to? I mean, it says up to $10,000 for the work, so I guess we don't have to make that choice now.
Opinions?
I like one big fat award.
I like a fat award.
Yeah, as long as we have the right placement for that.
Yep.
Big mural.
We've always been able to find it too.
Yeah.
So
When did they break ground in St. Louis Landing?
I think hopefully in the, when did they? Like they've.
Well,
started
I
doing,
mean
like,
to
going-
actually build buildings.
I think
One of
that'll
the
have to be
things that I think
next
would be
year.
really cool, and it's probably too early for this year,
Yeah,
but to design in a palette to put a super cool mural, and I mean like a big honking mural in that new development
Yep.
in our community,
Yeah, or more than one.
or more than one.
Yeah.
my
But
guess it's gonna be 2026.
all right. But we could talk to some of the design team
Yep.
and say, you know, keep in mind, would really like, for example, when we do the center, I'm saving wall space for gigantic murals.
Yeah.
So it fits the theme of the whole community.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
And we can put a call out to businesses to see who's interested.
Okay, so I'll just put up to $10,000
Yep.
for the grand prize.
And I've already ordered the stamp to make the awards.
Okay. Budget. I mean, I just put 20 in here. It was 15 before. Do we need to put our like entire budget? That doesn't save publicly on cafe.
Oh, you don't put that in period.
Oh, it says.
Is it, like kind of
Or just make up a number. I mean,
yeah. 100,000.
100,000.
yeah, I wouldn't.
And that's just at the bottom of.
Yeah, I'd try and leave it blank if it'll let you.
Yeah, and let me save it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's none of their business.
Well, and I think I put 35 for the entry fee.
And for those
Okay.
who are new to this, what Callie is looking at is a application called Call for Entries, cafe.org. And we use that to put the call to artists for this and plein air and other things. And we typically get around 80 or so people who apply to be in the show. And what will happen in, do May?
May 1st, so then at our May 8th meeting. So I will send out all the jury stuff May 1st, and it should be done by May 8th.
Yeah. And so in your planning, plan on between May 2nd and the 7th, we'll be asking each of you, we'll send you passwords. You'll go into this application. You'll be able to see the application of each artist, and you will rate them 1 through 7. And then we come together on the 8th, we look at the aggregated results and we choose, this is called jurying in the artist world.
Mhm.
We choose which 35 people we invite.
30
Or
unless we're
30.
upping.
Well, I thought 35 meaning the wait list.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why we're doing this stuff now.
Yes, so that's the fun part too. But that meeting will probably be a long one on the 8th.
Yeah.
It does take us a
Yeah.
while to deliberate.
Yeah, and it takes a couple hours to
Yeah.
look through all of those applications. It's tons of fun,
Yeah.
but make sure you have that kind of blocked off.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I got that. Locations, obviously, we're gonna continue to do spread out through businesses in town. feel like that's the consensus has been great. I do think that we should alter the award ceremony and do it back at the park. That's my idea. Yeah,
I wasn't here, so I.
yeah, I think it'd be better because then we can actually have a band instead of
Cool.
Yeah. And yeah, I feel like a lot of the other details we can wait until that May meeting to work out.
So this qualifies in, I'm fond of telling people I have lots of ideas, not all of them are good ones. This might be an idea that's not a good one.
You said it.
Right.
Me.
And I know that about myself. I'm
I'm just
full of
kidding.
them and
Yeah.
sometimes full of it. But Winter Park is starting, the chamber, they sent out notes, they're starting a new event called Revel in the Park. It's the following weekend. And the way they're describing it is enjoy oneself in a lively and noisy way, especially with drinking and dancing. Revel in the Park is a 2-day festival that celebrates the great outdoors and world-class music at the Rendezvous Event Center and throughout the area. The Chamber is collaborating with this outfit to bring an exciting new event. This new 2-day event has world-class talent as well as guided hikes, bikes, and other outdoor activities.
Oh, it's an outdoor festival.
So one of the things I was thinking is we will have 30 murals that had just been painted. We could go to the chamber, who's now, we're very actively involved with them, and say, hey, Catherine and Megan, one of your guided tours could be through Fraser to see the murals, and would require us to keep them up
Yep.
for an extra week. But it's not a lot of work, and it's another way to extend the visitation into the community. So, an idea.
What is that festival called?
It's called Revel in the Park, and it's the 8th and 9th, which I think is a Friday, Saturday
Of August.
of August. And I saw that and I thought,
Yep,
that
it's a Friday, Saturday. Yeah, that could be really
And
cool.
even if, we get 500 people who wouldn't otherwise come down here to come down here.
I don't hate the idea.
Yeah, I mean, even if we could, what were the dates? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
The
and
following
9th.
weekend.
8th and 9th, if we could get Rebecca to do her fab market that weekend too.
Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah. So it's all, and then obviously the murals are
Yeah, yeah.
still up.
Well, and we could put it out, just building and brainstorming here. We could try and do a Fraser Valley Arts. Well, no, Rebecca's already got it. We just help her
Yeah.
promote it.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yep. Never mind.
Well, I mean, we could set up something in the site over there if it's not
Yep.
occupied, but
I might, if I might have the dates wrong, but I might have a theater camp with my kids that week. So I don't know, maybe they could do a
Cool.
little performance or something.
that would be awesome.
Well, and here we are doubling down on the idea. We could easily just brainstorm a variety of things that happen. But it just seems like an opportunity. Especially since they're doing guided tours.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely like piggybacking on that. That's a full month for us, but I think if we're all around and can show off the sculptures, the murals and all that, that would
Yeah,
be great.
and part of the reason I like it is because it's not a lot of extra work. They're already done. They're already up. We might have to cover them for a few days
Or
to
move
protect
them
them.
around a little bit.
Yeah, move them around a little bit.
Yeah.
But if we know we're doing that, it's extra work for Public Works.
Great.
Are they
Good
frozen?
I think we lost sound just for a little bit, but I hear you now.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
there we-
anybody have anything else to touch base on about Mural Fest?
I think they're frozen at the town hall. Oh wait,
Ah.
now it's
Yeah.
moved in. Okay.
I would agree.
Are we back?
Yes, we can see you now.
Okay.
So Steve had shared an artist who was out of Ann Arbor,
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
He does these little chalk drawings and To me, what it reminds me of is like a chalk version of Banksy, where he incorporates like the surrounding environment to his chalk drawings, and thought it would be a great addition to Mural Fest because people are wandering around. We have sidewalks. He draws on walls too. Like it's just really neat. What was his name?
His name is David Zinn,
David
and
Zinn.
if you have Instagram, just look him up, David Zinn. You'll see street art by David Zinn, and they're these he'll like find a crack in the sidewalk and draw some sort of like adorable creature that incorporates the crack. And my thought was around Mural Festival, we could sponsor him to come out here, and that gives Sarah something to promote the whole week
Yeah.
leading up to that. And we, you know, how you do your scavenger hunts.
Yep.
There could be like, David just did a new drawing, and can you guess where it is? And then as the Mural Fest arrives, he could be really prolific on that Friday and Saturday, and it really adds to the experience.
Yeah.
We have no idea. You sent him an
Yeah,
email,
sent
right?
him an email.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything back from
Cool.
him yet, but yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
And it just seemed like such a good fit to the spirit of Mural Festival. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so cute.
And the whole idea is it's temporary, it's ephemeral. They're really colorful. Callie had a great comment that we could leave chalk around at other locations for kids to try and do the same thing.
Yep.
And it just participative and
Yeah.
a little funky and
Have we ever done like a community mural where people
yep,
can go up and just draw a little something on it?
yep. And it
Yeah.
turns into a train wreck.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last couple weeks we've had an artist that comes with another artist kind of help out while they're painting the big snow plows.
Yeah.
Which seems to be nice. I mean, I think it was what, smiley faces one year
Yeah.
and something else.
And that seems to work better because he gets the kids to participate without just smashing paint all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, but if we can think of other things, we had talked about the rock painting, which would
Yep.
be fun during Mural Fest, and kind of creating a colorful rock garden somewhere in town with the painted rocks. So it'd be great to have more options, but maybe not a big mural.
We
For the
also
kids.
talked about the screen printing with pavement rollers or something.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, although that would be a separate event.
About making that separate.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that would be a big one.
Yeah.
I think it's creative,
Yeah.
I love it.
clever idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Hopefully we add that someday, but
Oh, it's not.
We will.
cool. Well, I'm gonna post this and hopefully we'll have artists applying.
Yeah, I'll update the Fraser Mountain Mural Festival website and get that out on social media. And yeah, I was looking at the traffic that we got on the Fire and Ice Festival page too. I think it was like at max, it was like basically all the traffic that went to explorefrasercolorado.com was all Fire and Ice stuff, which makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I was pushing it pretty hard, but I think it was like 13,000 people in 30 days, which for a tiny little website that just launched is pretty good. So
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
awesome.
that it's great because now people kind of know to go there for all the information.
Mhm.
Everything on there was, I mean, everything on the website is easy to update, so we can just keep adding to it. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
As you said, Fraser, small, all of that, it came into my head that multiple times when I was manning the tent, people just wanted Fraser stickers. They didn't want the Fire and Ice ones, so something to just
there
not-
were Fraser stickers in
Yeah,
there too.
Explore Fraser.
There was the
Oh.
Explore Fraser, but
yeah,
like more
they were like,
Fraser ones.
yeah, like they ran out first, and
Okay.
people were like, "No, I don't want the Fire and Ice one. I want just the one with Fraser."
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, "That's cool. That's great." You know, like we love Fire and Ice, absolutely, but it was cool to
Yeah.
see like the town pride of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, I just want the Fraser, like the cool new logo.
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So just wanted to share that with you because I know that's kind of like your, yeah.
Yeah. So, very cool.
What else?
I think that's all I have.
Are we going to talk about doing the printing, Callie? Sorry, the steamroller printing. When were you thinking about doing that? festival.
That was just an idea that we had talked about last year.
Yeah.
It was just, like an extra event that we had tossed around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have funding for it? How much funding would we need? Do we want to make a?
think it would be minimal.
Yeah,
but-
I think that's why we were attracted to it.
Just because it would be way less artists. I think like 10 artists would be great.
Thought it'd be funny to do it around June 4th,
June 4th.
which is when the D9 went through Granby.
Oh, really? That would
Like
be
turn something
Is that triggering?
into beauty. But a D9, I guess, doesn't roll pavement, but
but close enough.
You mean a
That's
kill
definitely-
concert?
Do a little
Okay.
bit more digging on that. The steamroller rental was only $500 for the day. We just need somebody to drive it.
I'll drive it.
Do it.
Can we sign up for Yeah, can we sign
yeah,
up
we
for
need the sign.
What else can we flatten out?
Yeah.
Like, all
Yes.
Sign Up Genius is just like everybody being like on the wait list to
We
drive.
could probably make a ton of donations from people, paying to drive a steamroller.
Have an internal competition. Just kidding. People drop off drunk and we roll over it.
Yeah. Bring the things you want to smash.
I like that too.
Oh, and then we have to do like a giant watermelon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That would
That'd be
explode everywhere.
Gallagher.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna put this out there because Callie and I have talked about this loosely before, but she can anybody can veto it. But if we are interested in doing it, it could be a cool fall event because we don't really have a ton of fall events here, and
Yep.
specifically maybe a Halloween event. I don't know, or around
I do
Halloween.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just putting that out there. But we also talked about it doing it in the spring.
Yeah, selfishly, with Mural Fest and plein air, my
Yeah.
fall is PAC.
That's right.
but-
Plein air would be,
but-
but it would be after plein air
Well, yeah, if we did it in October,
if we did.
then
that.
we'd be like
But it's
racing
cold.
the snow.
Yeah. And that's why I think maybe we said spring would be good for it.
Yeah, I just thought that would space out like the 3 summer months really well, but
Yeah.
obviously that's up in the air.
Do we want to like make any decisions on it? Do we have to wait on that?
I don't know. What was it about budget things
Like-
or anything?
How do we make this happen? How do we decide when we want to do it?
We we decide we
just
want to
do
do
it?
it, and then we usually go then to the town board and say,
Yeah.
here's what we want to do. And it's generally easier to do that as part of the budget process.
Okay.
Doesn't mean we can't. But it's also, our next meeting is in March. So to pull something off in the spring means we all got to go hard. And I'm not so sure there's a ton of energy around that. At least I'm catching my breath. So I like the idea. I think it would be cool to have it be part of our plan for either the fall or next year. And then do the legwork to price it out, have it be part of the budget. I think the town board should be welcoming to something that is in a shoulder season or a slower time, even if it's summer or one of the slower weekends, because it's a reason for people to come. And we've proven that we can get people in the Fraser when we have events.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. So maybe
Early June,
Yep.
things are drying out so that people can be on trails and helping get them up here a little earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Okay, so we'll table that until budget.
I
I mean-
personally, I'd include it as part of our 2026
Six.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could start working on it.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's add it to the notes.
And I'll kind of remind everybody that the first year we did Fire and Ice, Sarah and I got together for about 30 seconds and went, $10,000? Yeah, $10,000.
sounds
And then
good.
we just figured it out. So
Yeah.
this doesn't have to be, a 17-page proposal.
Okay. Cool.
That makes it even more
Mm-hmm.
cool. Sweet.
Yeah, well, I think it sounds fun, so I'd love to do it.
Yeah.
And Lorena had some connections too with some people in Denver
Oh, cool.
for more insight on it.
Cool.
So we
Yeah.
can
And there's
get
that one
serious about that.
mountain town that does it.
There's a
Um,
few
yeah.
different places that do
Okay.
them. Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, there's one in San Francisco that uses like an old steam engine one,
Oh,
which is super cool. But
Oh, and then we could make it a steampunk theme.
yeah, totally. That could be fun.
You got
There's
really
that
excited
Halloween
about
one.
that.
That might be the one costume I get into.
Could be it could be a fall thing.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, well, maybe we can table it
My
until
turn.
next meeting and decide if we want to move forward in the fall or spring. So
Cool.
sweet. Thanks, guys.
Alrighty.
Anybody want to make a motion to?
I move
So
to
moved.
adjourn.
Move. I second. I.
All those in favor?
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.